And we're live.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Module 7 weekly coaching call. And yeah, we're at the end of Module 7 now, and we are tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, Module 8, the last module. Unbelievable. I know we say this every time. It always sounds like deja vu, and I know Rich laughs every time. It's hard to believe that we're where we're at already, that we're almost through those full 8 weeks. We have two special guests on today's call, and we have a lot of good content we're going to be sharing with you. The two special guests are two people that Matt and I ended up meeting in Aruba a few weeks ago, and they've been doing quite well for themselves with their monthly revenue thanks to the new Amazon business model. So I'm excited to talk to them. Before we get into the other mentor, before we get into, Rich and Shane sharing, I know Matt wanted to take a minute and share a few things. So Matt, you there?
Yep. Hey, everybody. Good to have you with us on this second to last coaching call. So after this, we're going to have the Module 8 coaching call next week. And then after that, it's really just getting ready for the live event. So hopefully everyone on this call has registered for the live event and has grabbed your hotel room. Make sure you do that before all of those are gone. So one thing that I wanted to touch on is something, if you're in the Facebook group, I believe, Jason, most people should have been added by now, right?
Yeah, there still might be a few people that we're still not getting added. Make sure if you haven't been added to the Facebook group though, before we get into that, that in your profile, in your Amazing Academy membership area, in your profile, make sure to add the Facebook profile URL that belongs to you so we can make sure to approve just the right people. So if you haven't gotten one, that could be why. If not, contact support. But yeah, most of them should, Matt, correct.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, if you're in the Facebook group, then you would have seen this. If not, then you'll see when you get in there. I posted the other day, in the process of recording some videos, actually just recorded a handful of them, answering some questions that you all have. I was curious to see sort of what you all wanted answered, and I was going to create videos, and I've already done that with some of them. One of the popular ones is that, there's a bunch of them, but picking out the one that I think is most relevant to where you all are at, having just joined ASM 7 weeks ago or so, is the question that people asked about competition. They're like, oh, I'm in a market or in a product where there's 5 other ASMers that are all doing well with this product. What should I do? Should I switch, or should I stay in this product, or what should I do? So this, it's a great question. So when it comes to competition, I want to sort of give you a different way of thinking about it. I mean, first off, if there's no competition, that means you likely have found a market where nobody's buying anything. You do not want to try to be the first person to market. Being the first person to market is likely a good way to lose a lot of money because you'll buy inventory, you'll do marketing, you'll do all this stuff, but then sales won't come in. Maybe they come in slowly, or maybe they don't come in at all, or maybe maybe you could have the world's greatest opportunity, you just happen to be a year early, and you run out of cash before you have time to actually capitalize on it. So first off, competition is a good sign. It means there's other people making money, and with Amazon you can tell because you can look at their bestseller rank. If you see some other ASMers in there, and you take a look at their bestseller rank and they're doing good, perfect. It means you're likely in a good spot. But the thing is, when it comes to competition, I can't remember if I told you all this, but not long ago I attended a negotiation seminar, just a 2-day deal on negotiation. It was a pretty cool experience. One of the things that they brought up that we kind of all know just from being consumers is that as a buyer, one of your best tools to negotiate a price lower from a seller, say for example you're buying a used car, is competition. Meaning that if there's other people selling that exact same car in the local area for a price that's cheaper, you go and tell that seller, hey, there's this other person over here, I want you to drop your price. And the seller can't really do much at that point. So what do you do as somebody selling products, physical products on Amazon, for example? You may have other people that are using the same exact supplier. Really the only difference is that you have a different brand or a different logo or different packaging. So how do you get out of that? How do you stand out and really be different? Well, it comes down to the seller's greatest tool in that perspective. Your greatest tool is to not look like everybody else. If you can start picking out the reasons why you're different, that makes your position that much stronger. So say, for example, you're selling a product that a lot of other people are selling. Maybe it's just other people selling it for a lower price and you don't want to go that low, or they're selling it for the exact same price and you just want to stand out. start thinking about how you can differentiate yourself. Think, for example, weight loss, just a random market, nothing to do with physical products, but weight loss. Think of all the different businesses that appeal to different markets for that. There's ones that appeal to guys who want to work out hardcore in their house. There's ones that appeal to women that want to work out in a women's only gym. They're just appealing to different segments of that market through different kinds of marketing. So think about your product. What segment could you appeal to that is not currently being, doesn't have something that appealing to them offered in your market, but could still represent a heck of a lot of sales? It doesn't mean you have to completely rebrand your product or anything, but just different words that you use or different pictures. Maybe you show all women as opposed to women and guys, or maybe you show women and girls. I mean, women and guys as opposed to just one or the other. Think about those different things that other people are not doing that you could be doing. And we've talked about this before. It's in the training, but adding additional bonuses that don't really cost you much, whether that's something digital, whether that's something that they get inside their package, or if it's some sort of guarantee, any of that kind of stuff can also help differentiate you. And you focusing on a specific aspect of the product that other people aren't. Think about, let's take Apple, for example. What is their big thing? Sure, they have great technology. Sure, people love their brand, but it's really about design and usability. That's their big differentiator. What can you differentiate with your product? Making it so that people are no longer comparing apples to apples, but instead are comparing two different things, even though they may be the same product when it comes down to it, is how you're going to help stand out from everybody else. And you can be in a market where there's other people selling there and you can still do very well. If there's other people selling there, remember, like I said, that means you're in a good spot. So just when you're building your product and you launch your product and you see that there's other people there, if there are, don't be scared off by it. Be motivated by it and think about what you can do for the consumers that other people are not doing. And remember, Amazon is growing 20% plus a year. So even if there's other people there, there's more and more traffic coming every single year. And when you get into the more advanced stages of this business, you'll learn how to get traffic from outside of Amazon, and what's going on Amazon, just the competition there won't become so important. So don't get scared off by that. No, competition is good, and just think about how you can differentiate your product and your offer. So yeah, that was the main topic that I wanted to cover that I thought would be relevant to them. I think Jason.
Very cool. I was just reading. Sorry, I got distracted by Rich Henderson, which the way he made it sound at first, I thought it was going to be something like, "Uh-oh, we got an issue." But we got this awesome comment. It says, "I am loving ASM. As an ASM 4 student, I couldn't be more pleased. My product will sell 15K in the first 10 days listed. I did just what you said, followed the course, and took action every day." So, wow, if you were the one that left that comment, thank you very, very much. It's awesome to hear. And, you know, that's the truth. We said people that take action, those are the ones that get rewarded the fastest. So great job on that. And as what Matt was saying right there, that leads perfectly into what I'm talking about, because first of all, if your product starts doing well, you got to remember, Matt showed me, what, 3 years ago now, this business model. And Matt wasn't the only one doing what he was doing. There's other people that have been selling on Amazon a while. There are other people always looking for opportunities on Amazon. We didn't invent the process ourselves. We're just teaching people how we do it. So what I'm saying with that is there's always going to be competition, whether it be an ASM student or just Amazon in general, the way people are gaining attention to it. It's always going to have competition. So your job is to always be testing and tracking and trying new things to do exactly what Matt was saying. Differentiate yourself from everybody else. Always be thinking ahead. What works? What's something? The moment you go into maintenance mode where you just want to sit back and let everything go, that's when you got to start being scared, because that's when the competition's going to creep up to you. Always be looking how you can stay ahead of them. And the fact that people are imitating you, people are trying to copy your products, that's a very, very good sign. So just keep that in mind. And what I want to talk about is, because in Module 7, one of the courses, one of the lessons that I know people, for some reason, when they get to it, it's not the sexy make money kind of business model. It's all about understanding the data and the analytics. And that can sound so boring and so daunting for people. but you need to do it. I really just want to stress to you that how in Module 7, let me get just a little closer to make sure everyone's hearing me clear. In Module 7, that lesson on understanding your business reports, the numbers to look at are absolutely crucial because you always want to be testing new things. So like what Matt said, try to, different images, maybe focus on a different, a more focused demographic. Or something that I encourage you to test, and I'm going to be testing in a couple of weeks once some other tests are done right now, is a theory I have, and it's only a theory, and that's why I'm not telling you I'm teaching it. It's a test I'm going to do, but it's always these kind of things that will keep you ahead of the competition. When you search on Amazon, when you do a keyword search or look at any category searches, it looks like Amazon displays about 15 words out of the title. So my theory is that no matter what, some categories, like for example, I believe it's home and garden, a lot of the categories are being limited to be really, really small titles. Still, think of it this way. The first 15 words, whether you have a long title or short, gets truncated after that. So if you're trying to compete your product against somebody else, it makes sense that if you focus the most powerful words about your product in those first 15 words, that should, in theory, get more clicks from the search results. So if someone types in your product, silicone spatulas, if you have your first 15 words sounding a lot more compelling, maybe have the word money back guarantee in those first 15 words, that's going to make it pop out in the search results to me more, and sounds like it should get more traffic and hopefully more conversions because you've already got that needled in their head. So where I'm going with this and what I love about Module 7 is by knowing your numbers, by going through that lesson, you can do exactly like what Matt and what I am just showing and talking to you about, is always be testing and tracking and adjusting your offer to get the best results possible. Stay ahead of the competition, and it just will work. You will always be ahead of the competition. That doesn't mean that you might have to not diversify and eventually work yourself off of Amazon. One of the best pieces of advice I can give anyone here is get your business started on Amazon, but get to a point where Amazon is like only a percentage of your income. You want to sell your products off of Amazon on your own websites, all these other things. Just leverage Amazon to launch that business. I'll get off my soapbox now. Hopefully that was worthwhile for you guys. And I'm actually going to now introduce, we're going to get into Rich Henderson, who he wants to talk to you today about good habits, including customer support. So Rich, can you take it away?
Yeah, sure, no problem at all. I just want to talk quickly about habits and about the right habits. Things like performing the same jobs every single day, no matter how boring those jobs are, because they matter to your business, is a really important habit to get into. When we move forward in Module 8 next week, there's a lot of stuff about outsourcing, like how to outsource, where to get your outsources. But it's really important that anything you outsource, you learn how to do yourself and you experience it yourself before getting someone else to do it for you. That is why we added the daily checklist in Module 7. Now, not everyone's going to be at the point where you want to start using the checklist yet, but do check it out. Make yourself very familiar with it. It's a very, very straightforward thing to follow every single day, and once you do this every single day, you're actually going to find that you can do it in a few minutes or maybe a little bit more. But it's another important habit. It's to get doing the same boring things every day. And you need to get really, really good at them. And you need to get really consistent. And as I said, in Module 8, you're going to learn about outsourcing, and that will take all that away from you so you don't have to do it anymore. But it's really important you get it done and experience it yourself. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire checklist because it's pretty long, but in my opinion, the most important aspect of the checklist is your own customers. And if you ask any successful ASMR out there, they will stress to you that customer service is absolutely critical. You need to make sure your customers are really happy. It's kind of obvious. I mean, if you're a customer of anyone else's, if you buy someone's product, you want to be happy about that product. You want to be happy about the company's support or contact with you if you need it. To do that, obviously, you're going to need to know exactly when they're responding to you, if they're responding to you. So you need to log into Seller Central every single day, and not just once, more than once. I mean, before I had my outsourcer doing a lot of these jobs, I was actually logging into Seller Central 4, 5, 6 times a day, every single day, just to check on these things. You must check your new seller feedback all the time. It's the thing you're going to see more of. I mean, everybody wants reviews, but they're harder to get. Seller feedback is very common, and people tend to respond to seller feedback and post seller feedback much more. So it's really important. If you get good seller feedback, don't just sit there thinking, hey, I've done a good job. Look, I got good seller feedback. I don't need to do anything else. You do. Respond to it. Thank the person for leaving that feedback. They get notified. They will see it, and believe me, getting personal contact from someone who they bought a product from is massive. It's giving them faith in your product, probably before they've even started using it. So always respond. Put the idea in their head that it's a good product before they even use it. You've always got to check your seller feedback for anything that's bad. Again, it's kind of obvious, but people seem to miss out. You can get rid of the vast majority of any bad customer feedback because most of the bad ratings are going to be to do with delivery. If it's delivery, then contact Amazon. It's Amazon's fault. You report it to Amazon. Amazon will strike that review. It won't count against you anymore. The same thing applies to product reviews when you get them. When you get a product review inside your seller feedback because they put it in the wrong place, you can convert this easily into product reviews by just contacting them. In fact, there's even a video showing exactly how to do that. And it's critical that you do this. It's the hardest thing for most people in this business is to get reviews. And so many of you are missing out because they're sitting there in your seller feedback and you're not converting them. Now, if you get a negative rating that includes a product review, in other words, you get a product review in your seller feedback that's bad, then again, contact Amazon. They'll remove it straight away because they don't allow product feedback in your seller feedback and your seller ratings. Next thing people forget to check on. Check for any questions or even comments on questions. Now, questions, if you haven't gotten on your listing yet, they appear actually on your listing towards the, I think it's towards the bottom, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But basically, it's when a customer who visits your listing and wants to ask you a question about the product, possibly before they even buy it. Again, these are obviously critical. Answer the questions. Again, the prospective customer will be notified. And if you don't answer, a competitor might, so make sure you do it. And don't forget, those comments are visible to everybody. So someone might have a similar question, go look at that question, see the answer, and go, oh great, this company's responded really quickly and given an answer. There's someone we can trust. Refunds. Every single time you get a refund, no matter what, always contact the customer by email. Be really nice. Don't start getting into any kind of confrontation. Just be friendly. Say, sorry, you didn't find our product suitable for you. I wonder if you wouldn't mind giving us some feedback on what you thought was wrong with the product. If you do that, they're actually going to respond to you in an email. And here's the really cool thing. If they do that, the odds are they're not then going to post a bad review because they're going to think in their heads, okay, well, I've already talked about this, why I didn't like it. And they'll forget all about it, and you've just managed to remove the chance of a negative review. Again, with reviews, always check them. And exactly the same as seller ratings, respond to them, good or bad. If you've got a 5-star review, just respond and say thank you so much. I see so many listings where nobody's doing this. They're getting their 5-star reviews, they're sitting there thinking, yay, I got another 5-star review, I'm killing it. But go in there and respond to it. It's all real estate, it's all giving your listing more content, but more than anything else, it's showing everybody who looks at that review that you care enough just to say thank you. Lastly, I'm going to skip a couple of things here because I know we've got 2 guests, so we don't have that much time. Especially check for any new customer messages, okay? More often than not, you can stop a bad review again. You can stop a refund. You can encourage a better review if you just respond to customer refunds really, really fast. Now, I checked this afternoon intentionally, and my average response rate was actually less than 3 hours. Now, that's pretty quick, but you never, ever want to see that go anywhere near 24 hours. If you're getting anywhere near 24 hours, you're not doing your job. You should never, ever have your response time that high. It's so simple to beat. All you need to do, check in every single day, 4 or 5 times a day, and you're going to be good. And remember, you're building a long-term business. Right now, you may think, I've got better things to do with my time. But listen, honestly, you haven't. Treating your customers right, getting it across to everybody, not just your existing customers, but prospective customers, that you are a worthwhile trustworthy company is absolutely critical. Now, all the things I just mentioned here, it sounds like a lot of work, but the more and more you do it, the easier it becomes. And you want to make it a habit so that when you get your outsourcer to do it, you can teach them that habit. So as soon as this call is over, go log into Seller Central and see if there's anything you can actually do for your customers or your business. That's it. I'm done, Jason.
All right, cool. So one thing I wanted to give you was good news about the email tool, and I have some. So I realized that this past week we've had some technical issues with the email tool, and first of all, we do want to apologize for that. What ended up happening was the new system that's coming online early January, planning for right away early January, we thought really was going to have no problems. Obviously, we had such a tremendous amount of increase because of so many late November, early December orders with so many people. Like you hear the guy right now, I think what is it, NM Chenry, already at 15K, and he just started ASM. This, people are just exploding, and our database couldn't handle it. Regardless, we've got everything fixed up. We really improved a lot of things. It's back online now, so your interface is open, and we should be smooth sailing from here on out. The new interface that is coming in January has got a totally more robust, powerful back end, and there's going to allow for split testing features and a bunch of awesome things that are really going to make this tool a lot better even. So good news is interface to the email tool is back in there, so once this call is over, you can head over there and just double check on everything and let us know any other issues, because we've got like 24/7 watch on this right now. So good news, I was happy to be able to share that. And again, I do apologize for all that inconvenience. The next thing that we want to talk about, which is really relevant, but before I get into what Shane wants to talk about with expanding and deciding on going to other products, I wanted to just, when I was talking about getting the conversion rate in testing, for example, I gave you the strategy of testing by manipulating your title, changing your title to optimize more of the 15 words. Whenever you're doing tests, though, you need to have a baseline, and the problem is with Amazon, you can only test one thing at a time to ever really understand if it's effective or not, and you need at least a week's worth of data. So what I would do is, if you're just starting testing now, make sure you have a week of no changes whatsoever. Get data of what your traffic and conversion rate is, and then start doing tests. But here's the thing, if you're not getting any traffic, don't even bother trying to split test anything yet. Focus on getting traffic. Like, you think of the people that are even doing 50 orders a day. Even if they're getting a 20% conversion rate, which is really good, that means to have 50 orders a day, they have to have, what is that, like 250 unique visitors to their unique sessions to their product listing every day to sell that many. So if you're not getting the traffic to those pages, that means you're not using sponsored ads, you're not doing the press releases, you're not using other advertising methods to get more traffic to your listing. It's going to take you a long time to do any tests. So you want to make sure you build up that traffic first, start testing to get the best conversion rate possible, and always stay in the head of the pack. But make sure you're always giving yourself at least a week worth of data to run off of. So I wanted to make sure that was clear before I left that topic anyway. So then the idea is, and the reason this is so relevant too, is because a lot of times we'll put a product up, we won't really do the marketing, we'll think, oh, it's not selling very well, or maybe it is selling well, let's just add more products. Well, the thing is, unless you know how optimized your product is right now, there's really no sense going to another one if you're barely getting any traffic. And there's huge opportunity for resources to be used to make money with what you have. So there's a lot of thought that has to go into this, but by knowing your numbers, you're always going to be one step ahead of what the majority is. So anyway, without anything else on that, I'm going to let Shane take over, who's going to talk about exactly that, about when to know to add more products.
Okay, great. I'm going to be pretty quick here. As you know, we've got a couple of guests who actually I'm really excited to hear. I had the pleasure to meet both those gentlemen in Aruba. So I'll be quick so we can hear their story, because I want to hear a little more of their story as well. Now, I could go on for a long time about this topic, and what I'm going to talk about is when you're launching your second product or launching multiple products. And in fact, I've had a few PMs over the last couple weeks of people who were thinking of launching multiple products as a new seller. And the reason why that came up is, if I'm selling this pen and I'm talking to my supplier and they give me a fantastic deal on blue red and black at the same time to give you a discount. They're wondering, well, should I launch all three? Should I just go with one? Or they're saying, well, should I launch this and a complementary product, like a ruler at the same time or something? No, I don't think you should. 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with several products that give you very mediocre results versus one product that does very well. And first off, you want to cut your teeth on your first product. Make your mistakes. Find out what works really well for you and your specific product. Find out what your strengths are. Develop your outsourcers, et cetera, et cetera. You will, on your own, by leveraging the ASM community. You make contacts. You might, get into mastermind groups, form partnerships. Who knows who you're going to meet at the live event. You're going to find your way, and you're going to evolve your process. And I can guarantee you that after you launch your first product, you will do things differently for your next product. And I don't mean drastically differently, but you're going to find ways of tweaking what you do, new techniques, et cetera, et cetera. You're still going to stick to your foundation, but each launch is going to become more and more efficient. So make your mistakes on the first one, get that ramped up, then start looking at new ones. Having one product do very well has some other advantages. You're going to rank faster and easier because you're an established seller with good seller metrics. If we were to launch, let's say simultaneously, we launched the exact same product tomorrow. We did the exact same promotion, or we did no promotion at all. I can almost guarantee you that my product will outrank yours. And it's not, because I'm cool or something. It's because I've got the track record. I've got the ad history. I've got the seller rating. I've got the inventory scores. All those things that make up the seller metrics that Amazon rates us on, got it going on. Now, don't be discouraged by that either, because it doesn't take long to build up good seller metrics. And what Rich was talking about, having good customer service is sort of a cornerstone. It's a really important key to keeping that on track. And you can build that fast, so don't worry about that. The better your products do, the more Amazon rewards you. You're better off getting that one product rocking and rolling, then launching the second product when you get everything aligned in your favor. So you're going to find a natural evolution of everything you do. Product development, your branding, your packaging, your launch formula, your overall efficiency. Your seller account is going to become more and more powerful, more and more developed all the time. Now, all these things developing and becoming more effective just plays in your favor for holding off on launching new products in the future. So early on, when you're still, really rough around the edges, so to speak, don't push it. Just focus on the one. I've seen too many people try and launch more than one product at a time and really struggle. And when I say that, I'm talking about new sellers. Once you've developed, maybe you will launch a line of pens and launch 3 colors at the same time. I don't know. But it's a lot to do at first. You've learned a heck of a lot over these past 8 weeks, and it's just the beginning. You're going to learn so much more as you go down this road and you interact with people, and it's just a constant learning process. And if you have the one product that's rocking and rolling, you have other options that are much easier to explore and take advantage of. So, you might want to look at other third-party platforms. You might want to do your own e-commerce. You might want to look at other Amazon properties. With a handful of products that aren't doing so well, it's really hard to expand that way. But it's easy to do if you've got a clear winner. So do yourself a favor, make your life easier, master one step at a time, and I think that you find that you'll be rewarded. And I just want to mention that next week there's a chance I might not have internet access. I'm really hoping that I will, but I may not be able to attend next week's call. But so if I'm not on the call, I just want to tell everyone it was an absolute pleasure to be here. It was a lot of fun talking to everyone, answering your questions. I'm going to see you in the forums, and of course, I can't wait because I'm going to see a lot of you in Vegas. So that's all.
All right, cool. All right, so now we're going to get into our guests, and so I'm going to actually introduce first Igor, and then we can have Dimitri come on too. But we met, as we mentioned, Shane mentioned, we met these guys in Aruba, and what just awesome people. It was great interacting with them, very positive, happy people, which was great to hang out with, but are doing really well with their Amazon business too. And I thought it was cool because they actually became cool friends, and obviously very close to each other through this whole Amazon business building experience and the live event. So it was kind of cool. So first of all, Igor, thank you for being here. How you doing? Let's unmute yourself.
Hi, Jason. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. So cool. So if you could just share with everyone, when you joined ASM, what you were doing before that, and where your business is at now, that would be awesome.
All right. I joined ASM1 when it just started, the actual Amazon business. When I started, I was doing SEO for local clients before ASM. I was doing SEO for local clients, and I was doing good like a couple of months, and then Google would change algorithm, and all my rankings would drop, and I have to go back and redo all the sites and start doing the promotions for the sites as well. So I was really frustrated, and I was thinking of other ways to make money. That's how I end up joining ASM. And I launched the first product in September of 2013. And it took me probably 4 products to actually find the one that started to make real money for me. So I was launching products, learning the system, making sure that I follow all the steps. And that's when the 4th product actually worked for me.
So when you got to your 4th product, so where are you at monthly right now with your Amazon business?
Right now, I have a couple of accounts. If I combine, probably over 500,000.
Monthly gross revenue, right?
Yes. Yes.
And about how much of that are you figuring is profit?
What, 30%, 35?
35%. Okay. So first of all, congratulations. That's awesome to hear. So that's very cool. And you're doing this with how many products?
I have about 30 products, but some of the products are like multiple variations of the same product under one listing. So one product could have 50 variations, 40 variations.
Okay, so and out of all of the products that you have, out of the 30 products, about how many are making up 80% of your revenue?
3 products with many variations.
Wow, very cool. So congratulations, that's really cool. So now, I would like to actually bring Dimitri on to understand. So are you and Dimitri also business partners at all?
No, we are not. We met at last live event.
Yeah.
And friends.
So very cool. So now, Dimitri, actually, if you could come on, I want you to share your experience and your story with ASM, and then we're going to open it up for question and answers because I know we're going to have a lot of questions for you guys. So first of all, Dimitri, thank you for coming on the call. Appreciate it. And good memories from Aruba, my friend. But if you can kind of just do what Igor did, just share, the story of when you joined and where your business is now and the kind of the transition, that would be really cool.
Yeah, guys. Hi to everyone. What I can say about myself, probably I'm the laziest person in the world. I don't like to work by myself. I always hire virtual assistants, but maybe it's not something that you have to be concentrated on the beginning, just because you need to implement so many things by yourself. And I met Igor on live event in Vegas. This is something, I think the people who never been on event in Vegas, they miss something. It's more about connections, because information you can buy and see, but relations, it's something that you have to build all the time. Sometimes one person can give you a small idea and your business jump like a rocket. We start in January to work on Amazon. Then I heard about the ISM, and I bought the ISM 3 course. So we reached about 120,000 sales in May, and we used to do very well with products for cell phone accessories. Now we change our way, and we're doing mostly like other niches. We have about 12 products. We're doing very well. And but what I like most about Amazon, it gives me lots of free time. You know, I can enjoy riding my bicycle, rollerblades, and I have time to go to events. You know, we have so much fun and like very valuable information on people around. That like almost every week I call, talk to everybody. I really enjoy it. You know.
Very cool. So what I find really interesting here is, first of all, you know, you guys each have your own businesses, but you know, the whole idea that you guys didn't know each other at all before the live event. So not only did you enjoy the live event, but because of the networking of it, you guys have become good strategic partners that help grow each other's businesses. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, we're always on Skype. We talk to each other, just helping with any problems or questions, or if I learn something new, always share. So first of all, I would definitely recommend to go to live events. I mean, I've been in all of the live events, and I've met a lot of nice people. And I mean, just when I go home, I do more, like 2 times more stuff than before that, because I'm so energized. I mean,
So that's awesome, and I mean, thank you guys so much, because I think it is important for everyone to realize that, you know, we're not, the live event isn't something so we can sell to you. The live event is really designed as like a graduation ceremony for you almost, where it launches you into this next level where you start working together. So if you're still on the fence about that, please reconsider it. It's only going to cost you, like, it's the $50 registration fee. You get that back as soon as you're there. I really encourage you to think about going, but we won't talk about that anymore. So when it comes to you guys' business, one of the things that I thought was interesting, how, Dmitry, you talked about how you're the laziest person. And I get that, because I'm kind of similar in a way where if I'm doing work, I don't like it. So I want to make sure I'm doing everything that I love to do, and that's networking, building businesses, doing all these kind of cool things. So obviously you delegate a lot, correct? You have outsourcers, virtual assistants and everything?
Guys, you can hire a person who will work full-time job for you for $300 a month. I don't know. Imagine how much time you can buy, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's so important, because getting people set. Next module, Module 8, we go into a lot of outsourcing. And you heard Rich say it's important to know the stuff first. I really agree with that. Get in there. You know, you're running this business first. You need to know how to answer tickets and do everything, but start looking at outsourcing that stuff right away to grow your business. And that's coming in the next section, so that's something really cool. And I'm glad you shared that, Dmitry, because like you said, you were able to go to the Aruba trip. You were able to travel all over, enjoying your days instead of sitting there having to do work every day. So cool. So now, where do if you kind of have two different business models. Now, Igor, you came in, it said you took 4 products to finally get to a point where you saw something take off. Now, with those other products, do you still sell them, or did you just get rid of them?
I still sell 2 products, and just the other ones just let's sell out. And for the new products I'm launching, I'm always trying to find a partner to partner up with, because I know to grow you need help, support, somebody who's interested in doing the same thing as you are. So most of my products I launch with partners.
Very interesting.
Could be my friend, could be a couple of ASMers. So I mean.
So how are you? And that's very interesting, because that's kind of like the delegation standpoint of it, growing your business, working with other people. So do you get involved more from an investing standpoint and guidance standpoint, and then let them, you know, run with it?
No. Usually they run backhand, like inventory, and I do like promotions, launches, new products. So basically I tell them, okay, you have an idea, let me know, we can talk. If it's about the new product.
Oh, very interesting.
Something I'm interested in, we launch it. That's it.
You know, what's really powerful about that for everyone on the call right now, if you think about it, that's what you're learning over these 8 weeks, is that whole process of how to launch a product on Amazon. And here's a business model right here being shared with you of how to grow instead of you doing all the work, coming up with all the ideas and everything, partnering with people once you have the the cash flow plus the knowledge. So that's very cool. That's just another way to grow your business. Very interesting. So Rich and Mike, Rich and Shane, I don't know if you have any questions for them. I've got another one to grow here. But after that, I'm not sure if you guys have anything. So Igor,
Just
Dimitri.
posted one for you. That's a good question.
Okay, it seems that you both grew really fast. What was the most important factor that allowed you to grow so fast? So I'll have first Igor answer that and then Dimitri. So what do you think really helped you grow so fast?
As I said, the main point is to partner up. For me, was to partner up with other people, friends. I would tell everybody, all my friends, if you have an idea, just let me know. Come to me. We'll talk, and we'll do research. If it's good, then we'll launch it and try. The other thing for me is to add to existing product, to add variations to existing product. For example, if it's a spatula, it could be small spatula, medium, large spatula, then 5 different colors. So here you already have 15 different variations. Instead of launching like new products and working on the images and packaging, you already have the listing, so it's much easier. Basically, you just have 15 products.
That is an awesome tip, Igor, because that actually, if you guys remember 2 weeks ago on the call, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Brandon Slater, who is an ASM3 student who is over 50K a month, that's the exact strategy he followed. He found one product he liked that he knew there could be logical variations right there, and because of that, he's able to leverage everything he has for the one product to be able to sell the other products, the mailing list, Facebook, everything. So that's really smart. So instead of sitting looking and saying what other products, when you're getting your initial product, start thinking how you can expand internally with what you've already got. So great share. How about you, Dimitri?
Yeah, guys, like Shane mentioned before that if you guys jump in new business, you have less ranking of your account. Like, I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, me and my another partner, we just launched the product about like maybe 3.5 weeks ago, and it's a brand new product, brand new trademark, account, everything, because we're a partner with different company, and we're already over 40,000 sales, just with one product, because we're the partners, we work a lot together, and like my employees as well, they help him a lot. So I just get some, like some notes for you guys. If you want, I can share them. I have, like I was tight on a budget when I just started this business. It was difficult for me to invest lots of money. So for me, that was the main concern when I start the business. It's a lead time. How much time the factory need to release your inventory. Like for example, if they need 2 months just to manufacture one of your products, it's very tight, guys, to keep inventory in stock. So mostly I was focusing on products that companies and factories in China have in stock always. So I was buying products, and it was 5-7 days to deliver it to United States. That's why I was created 17 variations in just 1.5 months, because it was so quickly. I didn't buy thousands pieces of inventory. I buy 100, and then just launch. And then, like, if I need more inventory, 5 days, I got it, This helps me to grow, because, of course, I use all knowledge that I learned from ISM, and at the same time, I just explained how my budget was working,
You know what? Absolutely. Like, there's no one way to do this. Like, what Shane was talking about and what I agree with is you got to be careful. Like, before you start growing any product, and I think it actually makes Shane was pretty much saying the same thing as you. Look at what you can do internally first. If you can do a whole bunch of variations, then do the variations first. That's an easy thing. To me, it's like if your product can have variations, if your product can be put on, sold on the UK and Germany, like there's so many internal things you could do to grow. Don't just think that adding more products is going to get you there. So what you're doing is exactly right, and it's cool because you're so aggressive. How many hours a day do you have to put into this to kind of achieve those results? Like, how much time are you working with the business?
I work 6-7 hours a day. But I take breaks. You know, right now I have a freedom to just go on vacation, take my family, and just relax. Of course, I have to watch, make sure all the customer service issues are resolved. But anyway, I mean, a lot of time to just for myself as well.
But you're also focusing on trying to rapidly grow your business right now too. So you're working it pretty hard, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you were in maintenance mode, like that's the thing, like you're working up time so that you can, like for example, you were in the Dominican Republic last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you were in Aruba the week before that. It sounds like you've got a lot of freedom.
Yeah. I was working 1 hour in 3 days.
Very cool. What about you, Dimitri? What kind of hours are you having to work?
Yeah, I work in, you know, like for me it's kind of different sometimes. Some day I can work 3 hours, and the other day I work 14 hours. You know, based on things that I have to done. I always make tasks that I have to complete. I choose the tasks, and every day I have plan. I always every day ask myself like, what is the one thing that can grow my business? You know, and I try to concentrate on this one thing. And then I implement this, you know. If I can give this type of work to my employees, first of all, I teach them, and then they do this, you know, so I can keep moving forward and forward. But almost every time, I do everything by myself to make sure I understand what type of work should be done and what is the quality it has to be, you know. And then we move forward.
Very cool. So you guys really are in control of your time, and you're just working as many hours as that day, you know, requires for where you're at. So very cool. So do either of you, and we'll go back to Igor, do you do any paid advertising at all?
No, just Amazon PPC.
Okay, just Amazon PPC.
Some Facebook as well.
You do some Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. But other than that, all your traffic is mainly, and I'm assuming because you have SEO skills, you probably do have some like other traffic promotion strategies.
Yeah, but not a lot. I wouldn't say I've done a lot of SEO. At the beginning, I was doing it, but again, because of the algorithm changes all the time, I don't think it's.
I get it, man. I get it. As a former recovering SEO person, I understand. I understand.
You better concentrate on other things. So.
Yeah, exactly, and you have to. How about you, Dimitri? Do you do any paid advertising?
Yeah, I can say I'm the professional guy on Amazon sponsored ads, you know. I like awesome on it, you know. This is what I start to do on the beginning. Just from the first day I start to learn split testing, and on the beginning it wasn't successful for me. It was like I used to pay more than I earn, you know, but it was experience that I paid for, you know. Don't be afraid if you spend for advertising $500 and you earn just $200, you know. Of course, it costs money, but experience costs more. Like just after maybe a couple months, I start to make more than I spend for advertising, you know, because it was lots of tests and it wasn't so much too much information about you know how to complete everything. And
I 100% agree. If you can budget your sales for the next couple months, like $500 or $1,000 a month for sponsored advertisements, it'll pay back. Like your first couple months, you know, even if you can break even after a couple months, it's still worth it because it's getting you a lot more sales, and you're figuring out what keywords are really your main sales machines, and then you can optimize your limit steam, everything for that. So I 100% agree. Like, in any advice for anyone, like, get tracking your results and get at minimum the Amazon sponsored ads going, because you hear it from these two guys, that's their primary traffic right there, and they have both very successful businesses. So cool. I have no other questions. I don't think anyone else does.
One question here for Igor, Jason.
Oh, sure.
Basically, the person is asking, at the live event, what advice would you give them for trying to find partners?
Just talk to people, and if you feel that person, you try. The best thing is just to talk to people, network, and sell.
Yeah,
Like,
really, if I can just vouch for him right there, like these guys, both when I met them in Aruba, they went up and talked to people. So if you're just going to go there and kind of be a shell to yourself and not talk to anyone, you're not going to get the most out of it. Just go up, get involved in conversations. We try to do networking for you, but really, you're the one that's going to have to go and start the conversations. But yeah. Just follow these guys around at the live event, and I guarantee you, you'll have a good time. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
just
that.
come see us, say hi.
at the same time, guys, I'm thinking like try to figure out what is your biggest skills that you have. What you're what you're very good on. Maybe you very good with negotiation. Maybe you're very good on advertising, or maybe you're very good on some other skills that you have. And maybe you have lots of money to invest. And like nobody knows. Then you will find some partner that doesn't have this. And you will connect together. It will bring like not every person should be a partner. Like you have to understand this as well. But at the same time, you never know who can be your partner and how big relations you can build. Like I read one of the books about business relations with a partnership. There's like most of the companies in the world. There's no one big company who owned by one person. So anyway, you will looking for the partners. Just start to do this little by little, and you will get it.
That's good wisdom because it's not. First of all, you have to sell yourself, and that's something I encourage for anyone going to the live event. Really figure out maybe not even what you're great at this moment, but what you have a real interest in being good at, taking ownership on. And that way, at least when you're talking to people, like you really want to sell yourself. If you go in there, oh, I'm not going to have anything to offer you, well, who's going to want to continue talking to you? Like if you, and don't look at it at what can you do for me, it's like what can I do for other people? Get to know them, ask them questions, ask about their business. Because you'll be surprised, you'll be sitting beside someone that you don't think, has anything successful going on, and boom, they're making, hundreds of thousands a month. So you're surrounded by incredible people, just reach out to them. So great feedback, guys, awesome. I don't know if you guys have any closing remarks, like just if there's any, what would be your one piece of advice, and I'll start with you, Igor, that, if you could just give everyone this one piece of advice for running this business and being successful with it, what would you say?
One advice, just follow the system. Just
Okay.
learn it. One product, second product, third.
What's that?
I have same idea, like that. I've been on many events, and most successful guys who selling $300, $400, $500,000 a month, they mostly all of them just follow the system, Like you don't have to looking for some like crazy idea that will like gives you like lots of sales. Just follow the rules, like main one, like advertising and everything, like simple ones.
Very cool. Yeah, and you know what? Thanks for reminding them of that. Oh, go ahead, Igor.
No, and then from there you can try to, different other things to just test and see maybe other things would work for you.
Exactly. Yeah, like we're not saying this is the end-all, be-all of everything. It's a foundation to build off of, and now go figure out how to make it even better. So yeah, actually, and that's kind of what Shane was saying too. Like make it your own system. If and you don't have to share everything you do. You're going to find strategies that like you'll want to keep for yourself. But this is the best foundation that's going to get you to that level. So that's very cool. Igor and Dimitri, it's always a pleasure. I'm so thankful that you guys were able to take time out of your day to share with us. These guys are just wonderful guys. Reach out to them, especially at the live event when you see them. Shake their hand. They're great to know. Really appreciate you being here. Shane, Rich, Matt, thanks a lot, guys. This is being recorded. It should be available in Module 7 under the weekly call tomorrow morning at 8. And Matt, I don't know if you have any closing words to add.
Jason, don't forget the community helpers.
Oh, yes, thank you. But I'll let Matt. Actually, Matt, let me do that, and then you can do the closing remarks real quick. Sorry about that.
Sure.
Yes, Rich, thank you very much. So again, close community helpers, and I know I've got a couple scheduled for Wednesday, Thursday. So what this is a community helper of the week. So every week we look to see who's involved in the community, what's going on, who's helping, and we want to reward those. So first of all, by just acknowledging that we do appreciate all that you do by helping out in the community, but also I want to give you 30 minutes one-on-one time for the person that's picked for this week so that I can help you in any area of your business. The only condition is you have to request the time before the live event. So I want to, first of all, just for help out, and I'm only using their community username, so I've got Brumgard, Kai, Khai, and Lynette. Lynette, I'm not sure which one it is, but I do apologize if I misspelled it or mispronounced anything. But first of all, thank you for helping out in the community. Appreciate you speaking up. Runner-up, Don Jenks, very helpful and some great info. But our winner this week is Mary Isaac, who was actually last week's runner-up, had more great help and meant she was a definite winner this week. Thank you so very much. So Mary Isaac, if you can contact support, we will schedule one-on-one from now until the live event. It can be on any question in regard to your business. So that's cool. So now that that's done, I'm going to hand the mic back over to Matt, and I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. Have a great week. And Matt, take it away.
Thank you, Jason, and thanks to our guests, and thanks to Rich and Shane as always. So, yeah, everybody, you're about to start on Module 8. I realize that at this point, and we've got somebody and probably multiple people doing very, very well, but as the person Jason pointed out, doing $15,000 already. So congratulations to you. But everyone, there's no reason why you can't be there very soon. It's just a matter of, sort of like we've said from the beginning, taking one step at a time. A lot of times, like, you may hit a hiccup in the road. Some supplier may drop off the face of the planet or send you some product that's no good, or anything else could happen. So just think about the next step that you can take. What is something else you can do so that you don't lose momentum? You've invested in this program, and you've stuck with it beyond the point when some other people don't, honestly. So you are primed and ready to be successful. It's just a matter of, like Igor said, following the training and keeping at it. That's the biggest thing. I mean, the biggest successes in life, it doesn't matter if it's business, athletics, or anything else, are from people who just pick something, stuck at it through thick and thin. I can't tell you how many times when I first started building an internet business, beating my head against the wall, having to sit in front of a computer 12 hours a day, how many times I thought about quitting, but didn't. And it's made all the difference in the world. I just stuck with something. Doesn't mean it was the best thing on the planet or there weren't other things and a million other opportunities. There always will be, but just stuck with it and never gave up. And I highly recommend you do the same. If you're still working a job, no problem. Keep at this in your spare time. Just devote an hour a day, 2 hours a day for the next month. Then after that, do the same thing again and just keep at it, and you will be successful. But that's it from me. Thank you very much for joining, and we will see you next week.